You'd be surprised at how many of UC Berkeley's students, staff, and even faculty have experienced academic difficulty at some point during their college career.
As a pre-med, right, they tell you to strive for A's and B's, but really A's in all your classes, including the science classes. And so being in a place where not only was I not hitting those marks, but I was hitting below those marks and put on academic probation.
It was like kind of like a slap in the face, like just basically solidifying like you are a failure.
I felt that I failed to do anything to prevent it, and I was disappointed in my inability to do so. And it was the hardest time trying to deal with that and trying to move past that so I can move on from academic probation.
It was a real gut punch, and it made me really freak out because for me, I've explored other careers, but I knew being a doctor is something I really wanted to do, and so
immediately my mind went to how I would tell my parents because they've always been very proud of all my accomplishments, so that was like a very hard thing to come to grasp with, the fact that I was like not living up to their standards.
When I started graduate school at UCLA, that's when I had, I think, a real strong wave of imposter syndrome. I mean, I did have the thing at Cal, like, probably my admission was a mistake, but I figured I would just roll with that and just kind of keep going. But when I got to UCLA, I was in classes with these people that sounded really, really smart, and they had all these big words and all of this discourse, and I was like, whoa, like, these people are like smart for real.
When someone talked about a postbac, it was kind of like, oh, I'm doing a postbac because I like suck. So that was kind of like the culture around that. So I know once I got on academic probation, I was already thinking like, how can I clean this up? Because if I don't, there's no way I can get into medical school.
And I wasn't used to getting anything lower than a B. Most of my grades were A's. Like, that's kind of what I did. And so I remember feeling disappointed with myself and kind of ashamed. Like, I didn't want to show it to anybody. I didn't want to tell anybody. And I think I just had to come to the point where I realized I hadn't worked as hard as I had in some of the other courses, and some of the material didn't come as naturally to me. And so I needed to put the time in, and kind of realizing that it wasn't about whether I was smart enough, but more about how I was using my time and energy. That was a real kind of turning point.
I had a job, I was in the wrong major, like taking courses that didn't interest me, that had nothing to do with like my passions or my interests, and also I was just involved in like a lot of extracurricular activities and not really like focusing on my schoolwork.
Our EOP students tend to have, as you suggest, more responsibilities, more family responsibilities, possibly their own families and kids that they might be raising, siblings they might be responsible for, and tend to also come from families and communities with less resource to help manage those critical life things when they show up.
My grandpa was actually taken away from us, and me having to focus on that just because I was the one person that was communicating with everybody in the family, just to make sure that things were going okay with them, that they were kind of like emotionally there, but also like making sure that I was having conversations with people that were helping us, trying to get him back.
Again, that's totally different than whether you have the intellectual capacity to be here or to do well here. That's just about the juggle that life is.
Being Black and pre-med on campus it's interesting because when you say to maybe like your peers or other Black classmates or other students of color, like, oh yeah, I'm pre-med, like the first reaction you normally get is like, oh dang, like, oh, good luck, ooh, and that's not exactly the most encouraging reaction.
I have 4 kids. I raised 4 kids through the academic journey. One of them was born when I was a junior here at Cal, and it means something different to do this academic work while you're juggling family responsibilities, because your kids are going to get sick, and you're going to miss class, and you're going to miss that really important final.
The other thing too was, I was emotionally invested with somebody else, and that didn't kind of work out, so it kind of put me more of a depression mode, and because I wasn't willing to share that with people.
I felt like I didn't have any support. I felt like I was in it kind of alone.
I wasn't asking for help, and so I felt that this class would be a good opportunity to, actually force myself to go out there and get some help, because I realized that I wasn't going to be able to make it out of academic probation on my own.
The climate of being a pre-med on campus, especially, you know, with Berkeley being so research heavy, really competitive, and it is a really cutthroat atmosphere. People don't really share about what's going on with their classes or like even the grades that they get.
The thing that prevents us from looking for help is feeling like it means we're not smart enough or it means we don't belong.
Asking for help is something that is definitely hard to learn depending on what culture you have and who you are as a person.
I grew up with my family where we don't share when, you know, you're at your lowest point, but if anything, you only share when you're at your highest point.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. That was one of the things I definitely struggled with.
Seek help. Like, it's okay to need help. We all need help.
Having positive people around to keep you encouraged.
Being able to talk to that person, right, about everything that I was going through, like not only academically, but just even with my family.
Having a great community and group of friends to support you along the way.
My close friends, my sorority sisters were always like really encouraging, and
to hear you when you're sad, to hear you when you're happy, and to know that other people are going to be there and rooting for you to the very end.
It's amazing how much people will go out of their way to help you, you know, when you're in your time of need, and that was something that was amazing to see. It was really inspirational, and it's just helped me on my journey a lot.
You're going to come across failures, you're going to come across bumps, you're going to come across
roadblocks along the way to success, but every single one of those is a true blessing because they are opportunities to grow that other people won't have.
Because once you figure out, like, I'm worthy and I'm worthy of being here, then how you make sense of failure is really, really different.
Those failures is what's going to make your journey special and what's going to make it unique.
There will be countless people who will go through it and countless people that have already gone through it, so you're not on your own.
Taking the seminar kind of like put that into perspective for me. Like, there's no perfect way to get to where you want to be.
You may not see it right now, but there is the brightest light at the end of the tunnel, and even though that you may have to work extra hard for it, that work will carry on through so many parts of your life.
I ended up reaching out to someone that worked really close with EOP, and if anything, they decided to help me through the process.
The resource I would definitely recommend is EOP. I would not be here without the guidance of the counselors, without the peer academic counselors, without R2R.
After taking the class, I was just a lot more comfortable in my own skin, I guess I would say.
It definitely gave me the sense of empowerment that I needed to move forward towards academic success in my life, and not just academic success, through emotional growth and through personal growth.
Once I finished my school or my degree, they decided to hire me for at least 6 months. From those 6 months, it became, you know, a career position, and then eventually it led to promotion, where right now I'm a senior financial analyst within the team.
Don't let your setback cause you to sit back. Prepare for your comeback.
Right after I was on academic probation, I, applied to do their Healthy Ambassador program. So every semester, every summer, there was another, pipeline or pre-med pathway program that I was doing. And I've literally been doing them ever since. And it not only boosted my confidence, made me feel supported, but also just gave me the research opportunities, even the job opportunity that I have now, the mentorship and everything that I needed to have a really good application as a pre-med student to medical school.
Having these people here really believe in my ability to move past this difficulty in my life has been nothing short of irreplaceable. I would not be here without them.
My name's Angel Clay.
My name is Kelvin Quintero.
I am Naila Suad Nasir.
My name is Jocelyn Benitez.
I'm Omanivia Bogady, and I'm a Cal alum.
I'm a second-year intended film studies major.
I'm a senior financial analyst at the Haas School of Business.
An incoming first-year medical student at Wright State University.
And don't forget.
And don't forget.
You are resilient.
You're resilient, baby.
You are resilient too.
You are resilient.
Remember, at the end of the day, you are not alone in this, and EOP is here to support you in any way that we can. To schedule an appointment with an EOP academic counselor, stop by our front office in 119 Cesar Chavez or contact us at the number below. If you have any specific questions about enrolling in the R2R seminar, please contact Yuki Burton at the email address listed. Don't forget, follow us on social media to stay connected with the latest news, updates, and resources from the EOP front office. Last but most certainly not least, don't forget, you are resilient.